tell me about the importance of having disability on screen and, of course, behind it?
Why is representation important? Because basically it says we acknowledge that you're there and we acknowledge that you count and you matter.
We can always...
You say that you're there, you count and you matter.
Yes, of course.
You know, so that's why representation is important.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I work currently now, still in a volunteer capacity, waving a flag of disability equity, inclusion, representation. I work as a volunteer for my local council for the Disability Access and Inclusion Advisory Commission. You know, and that's been a very important part of my current existence.
Yeah. So obviously your access requirements must be complicated and take up a lot of time during the day. How do you balance your access and your just getting through life with running a business?
Well, if like anything, it's a matter of basically, you know, assessing what your resources are and what your needs are, and then living within those means, you know. So it's matching resources to your requirements, and then, and you know, like any of you run a family budget, just balance it, you know, make it work.
So are support workers an intrinsic part of your life? Do you use them a lot?
Support workers are a huge part of my life now. It's funny because I, culturally speaking, from my Asian Muslim background, the idea of requiring a support worker was a very foreign concept for me. I explained this when I was in hospital. I said, look, you know, I cannot get my head around the idea, because I said to my friend of mine who worked in Singapore, I said, have you ever worked with a disability worker at all? And Colin said, actually, I've been a disability support worker before. I said, yeah. And I said, how long for? He said, well, this way, I have wiped my fair share of bottoms in my time.
Yeah.
But that's been really difficult for Ade, and even in hospital, when he was in hospital for the 7 months,
Yeah.
I actually did all his toileting and showering.
Yeah.
So, that's been probably one of the trickiest things.
And the way to get around it is why I eventually embraced it, and now I really respect it and almost claim the great work they do. Is that I
Celebrate
it. I the only way I get my head around doing this or toilet assistant is injecting my fair share of daggy dad jokes.
Yes, you and your dad jokes.
So instead of saying, can you please one now, I'd say, deposit complete, missiles launched, torpedoes deployed, request basement clearance.
Now, you mentioned a second ago that you're a Malaysian Muslim. Was that what you said?
Indonesian.
Did you say Muslim though? Did you?
I was brought up Muslim family, yes.
Yeah. So
Not very good at it, but I was
how was that integrated into your life? The coming from that background into a life where you're requiring support and.
It wasn't without its hiccups, you know. It had its problems. I mean, a big part of it also is that between strokes, as you do, I met up with a fellow Muslim.
Between strokes, not between smokes.
Yeah. No, I said, but were you still smoking?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was just
throughout having one stroke and another stroke.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I met up with my former boss at ABC Comedy, Ed Robinson, who recruited me to be a producer for what was then, it is Australia's first ever Muslim entertainment program, because of course there are so many of them now. Right? Anyway, the show was called Salam Cafe.
Salam Cafe.
Yeah. And that was the then screen debut for a certain Walid Ali. Yeah, that was his. Anyway, what I really enjoyed about the show was that, you know, because I grew up as, you know, not just the only Muslim in my classroom, but more often than not the only Asian in my classroom. Find that now, hey? Yeah. Anyway, I the funny part of me was I basically was asked to produce Slime Cafe, and basically, let me try and get this without saying basically too many times. The show was a very foreign concept for many, but we one of the funniest things that I really enjoyed doing was that we decided to. At the time, there was a gay pride entertainment program called Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
And they had a show called what was Makeover?
You mean the Queer Eye for the Straight?
Yeah,
They had a show called.
They had a segment called
Extreme
Makeover.
That's right.
But we decided to do a terrorist parody of it and call it one called Extremist Makeover.
Oh no!
Oh, that's funny. Yeah?
No, that is quite funny actually.
Yeah. And so we and because we wanted to do a proper comedy sketch, I had to do it for Ted Downing because we had standards there. I worked in film industry with an armourer to get guns and stuff, right? So we got my AK-47, and as you do, and then I took Kate out for a coffee and.
With the A47.
No, that's all clipped like way, but AK-47. We took coffee to Eastern Kilda in Melbourne's Kosher Corner, and at the time, the Lebanese buddy of mine who was working with me on Slime Cafe, had a very unfortunate name of Jihad.
Oh no!
That was actually his name. So I rang the office and said, "Just to let you know, can you please let Jihad know I've got all the guns and weaponry
For jihad.
Okay.
Ready for jihad." At the time, we had living in a flat with an undercover policeman,
Oh no!
and he laughed and he said, "You're very lucky not to get a knock on the door."
Wonderful.
But jihad actually means to struggle. It's actually,
Yeah. Well, that's it.
it gets taken out of context.
That's why they
Yes.
say that the toughest struggle jihad of all is the internal struggle.
Internal struggle. Yeah. Internal jihad.
Yeah, that's it.
We're fighting an eternal internal war,
Well,
aren't we?
it's all about self mastery, based on the fact of master yourself and you master anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a great. I really enjoyed that time we were together.
So, Ade, can you tell me of your aims for A2K? Can you tell me of your aims?
I like to think I still harbour.
Hang on.
Sorry.
Can you tell me of your aims for A2K and what's next for the company, please?
I like to think that I can still harbour, nurture, and foster, high-reaching ambition, production ambition, and I'm fairly confident I can still do that. But I would like to, for a while, work within the disability equity and inclusion space because it's proving so rewarding and fulfilling for me so far. Let me tell you what did I say.
So are we talking about your project, the Disability Justice Lens?
Yeah, that's a big one for us. That's to be released next few weeks. The Disability Justice Lens is an online. How about here, Kate? It's an online training program.
Yeah.
For the screen industry.
Wow, that'll be great.
Yeah.
To help them be more inclusive of disability. Yeah. But it's for everyone. It's for people that don't know anything about disability. It's for disabled people as well. It's going to be accessible for everybody.
Excellent.
So it's for the new arrivals, the virgin to the industry.
Like a new you.
Yeah. And those who have been around a bit.
Yeah.
And slutted a bit. and the slut types.
80, you can't say that.
I am not going to alienate,
Stop
the
it.
loving sluts of this world. But what I want to say though, in terms of ambition, I would really like to say that I really want to just develop and continue with doing what I consider meaningful and substantive work and purposeful, being purposeful.
Excellent.
Purpose rich.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ade. Thanks for talking to me, Ade.